to forgive me. It's not me, it's my mind. It's very slow, and I have to pin everything down.
What's up, Fredonia? You're listening to the Local Lowdown on WCVF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno. I'm Olivia. I'm your co-host, and I'm your field interview lead.
Hi, I'm Elena. I'm your other co-host and our lead and executive producer.
And I'm Dylan, the production lead.
Yes, well, tonight's episode is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems in a group effort to promote and showcase the local music in Fredonia as well as Western New York at large. Welcome to another episode. This is the Local Lowdown.
On this episode, we have Ashford.
Welcome.
Can everybody introduce themselves and what they play in the band?
My name is Nathan. I sing and play guitar and write a lot of the songs.
My name is Thomas, and I play bass and I sing.
I'm Alex, and I play drums.
I'm Trevor. I play guitar and sing.
Nice.
So how did you guys all form Ashford?
Do you want me to go?
Send it.
Okay, so I have known Tom and Trevor for basically my whole life. Alex, I met in high school. When I was in high school, I just started chatting with someone I was in class with. We both mentioned we were musicians, and we decided we wanted to play in our high school's Battle of the Bands. And I was like, I have a friend named Trevor, he can play bass for us. And we formed a little band, which shall not be named. And we played for a while, and eventually that other guy, he played drums. His name was John. Great guy, but he kind of dipped, and Alex joined along. And I think it was actually mostly Alex's suggestion that we kind of move on from that era. And and kind of we decided a fourth member of the band would do a lot of good for our sound and a new name and new image and all that. So it all started with that three-piece in high school, but we just decided we wanted a more advanced sound, and Tom joined along.
Yeah. How'd you guys come up with the name Ashford?
Yeah, so that's actually the street I grew up on. It's the street that we used to practice on, the band that shan't be named. Yeah.
Shan't.
Well, what went into that transition for you guys from going into that one to the other? I mean, obviously you added another member, but was there any other changes either in the writing process or just how you guys played in general?
When I came into the band, I was leaving another band, and they pretty much had some songs written that I heard all of the songs before because it's my little brother's band and my little brother's best friend's band. So I was always at their shows. I was always trying to get them on my band shows so that we can play together because we're brothers, and then we finally ended up playing together. And they threw some songs that they had roughly done, and I sat down with them first band practice, and we pretty much just wrote Perennial and Before, right?
No.
Oh.
You had Perennial written, right?
I had Perennial written.
I remember writing Before, with you guys.
I think Before was the first song that you really had any writing on.
Wow. I didn't realize those were written so early on.
Yeah.
They were pretty early.
2019.
Wow.
I want to say,
It just took us a while to get them out there, I guess.
Yeah.
We started recording those basically right after we released the first EP, which was all songs that we kind of carried over from the previous band.
Oh, gotcha.
And right away, 2020, the world was...
Right.
We all know what happened there. But we went into the studio pretty much, like I said, right after that EP dropped with RJ DeMarco, singer of Fredonia. Shout out RJ, all the way in Monterey.
That was so perfectly coordinated.
Yeah, we we have a trend where we like to sit on songs for a while before anything happens.
I see.
So that's the songwriting process.
Yeah.
I think a good number of the songs on Patterns might have been around since like 2017 or something like that. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Wow. Okay, so we haven't done it yet this semester, but I always love doing it. I found a photo on your guys' Instagram. It's nothing crazy.
Okay.
It's nothing crazy. It's from, I believe, your first BJ show.
Oh,
I printed it out for you guys.
Wow.
Oh
Yeah.
I know this picture.
Yeah, you guys.
Crispy Tommy.
M Sleds, Matt Sleds took that.
I was quite crispy.
Shout out
Rice
Matt
Krispie
Sleds.
Tom.
Yeah, well, for any context for our audio listeners, this was a show you guys did at BJ's. I see it's Ghost Pool, Carpool, and then you guys as well.
The Ashy Pool Party.
Yeah.
Sheep pool parties.
Crazy. Well, you guys are very involved in the Fredonia scene, especially like in your earlier days and everything like that. What was this? It was your first BJ show, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
so.
was.
What was that like for you guys, and what was the scene like at that time as you guys were joining as Ashford?
Had you guys ever played before at BJ's?
We
No.
had not played at
Yeah.
BJ's,
So-
and we were like, how old were we? Like 19.
You guys were
Yeah.
young.
We
yeah.
were 19, I
So-
think.
Because I'd played BJ's with Rescue Dawn and Fredonia before.
That was the only connection that I thought. I thought it was all your guys' first time playing, but
Yeah, so I'd played it before, and then it was cool because this is Ashford's first time there, and then I'm hanging out with like tons of buddies that I've hung out with over the years.
Right.
And
It was
I've
Homie
actually
Fest.
yeah, it was a buddy fest. It was really great.
Yeah.
And that was back when BJ's had mason jars.
yeah,
was
I was
sick.
That was
I
a
was
thing?
gonna ask in the picture. I was like,
Massive.
that does not seem like a normal cup in there.
Oh yeah.
Things were
Rudolph's got the
Mason
jar.
things
jars.
were different there.
I
before
definitely
COVID.
I'm coming clean. I definitely broke a mason jar in the bathroom at that show.
No.
And some girl like knocked on the bathroom door and I came out. I was like, watch out, someone broke some glass.
Oh my god! I won't tell Bob. Don't worry.
Love you, Bob.
But yeah, I also wanted to ask, like, ever since then, you guys have played with both of those bands quite a bit and everything like that. Did you guys feel like even after that first show that you guys were connected? You guys knew you all would play a lot after that?
I mean, we were all already just like tight. Like
Yeah.
everyone in that photo just rocks. Everyone. Yeah, we were all just homies. I think it was Alex Vasiloff back when their reign of Fredonia was going
Yeah.
on. Someone in that camp booked the show, and yeah, it was a fun night. Played with both those bands so many times. Robbery Club,
Right.
former Ghost Pool. They're still kicking. They're playing on the release show coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Homies.
And do you guys feel like the scene in the Western New York area has changed? I mean, you guys have you've played at like North Pole Strip Club, which is now closed, and other places in Buffalo like Stamps and Mohawk. Have you noticed that change throughout the years?
I went to Electric Avenue recently,
Yeah.
and it was the Trail before, which I knew it as. So I couldn't the shift of what I was processing was like the shift of an older generation listening to music to a younger generation's take on music. It was more intimate before, and you could sit down and there was tables and stuff. But this was more open because they obviously want a younger crowd. So it was
Gotcha.
it was
Electric
interesting.
City, not Electric Avenue.
Oh yeah,
Electric Avenue is the spot next
Yeah.
to Mohawk.
I was
Isn't
thinking
that a
that.
song?
They are also running shows out of there now too.
They are, yeah.
I believe so, yes.
Another big change is Stamps closing.
I know.
That was pretty heartbreaking.
Come and take it.
Not
We played the second last show.
I think
really?
the second last
Second
show,
last show,
the
yeah.
last Gulf of Mexico Productions show
Oh,
at
okay,
Stamps. But I think it was the second last show.
Gotcha.
so.
Good times were had there. That's where our release show was.
The Patterns
Right.
release show back leap day of 2020, February 29th, literally right before everything happened.
Right.
That was
Couple weeks.
that was an insane
Close
show.
call.
Close call.
So you just mentioned EP Patterns. What went into that EP?
Money.
I know you said you had those for a while.
I wasn't even I'm not even on Patterns. Trevor played the bass on Patterns.
Oh.
I'm not my voice, nothing. So I had to come in and learn Patterns and then, do the release show.
A lot of I feel like a lot of work went into that record for all of us. I can speak for myself saying it was like a huge like kind of, I don't want to say like culture shock or even like learning curve, but it was just like very mind opening to like be in like a studio setting and have to sit down and play to that level of consistency. And because I was 18 at the time that we were recording that record.
Yeah.
So that was like a big part of it, was just like kind of getting to like that point in like our musicianship of just being able to like sit down and do it. But I still go back and listen to that
was just
record a
about to
lot.
ask.
I'm super proud of it. Like I think we've all like grown as musicians since then. But like I go back and listen to it because it's like, man, like we were like I'm proud of us for doing that. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, what's it like performing these songs now, post release?
The Pattern songs?
Yes.
They're still they're still challenging.
Yeah. Some of the
Yeah,
parts
some
are
of them are still
definitely
hard.
very.
Involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the songs are long too.
Yes.
Very long songs.
Yeah.
Before we knew how to write a 3-minute, 30-second song.
Storytelling.
Everything had to be like 6 minutes long.
Alex, would you say like first is like the most challenging drum part?
It's the most fatiguing drum part. I don't know if it's technically the most challenging, but
Like Sophomore is
Yeah.
my most fatiguing song, so it's clearly still a little bit hard playing some of them.
yeah, for sure.
Well, as we've talked about that, we also definitely want to mention those two singles, Perennial and Before. Perennial, definitely a crowd favorite. You got, it's no secret to us, but you guys played BJ's recently, and I even just like saw in the crowd everyone was still singing along. And it's one of my favorites too. What went behind that one in particular?
It's a Trevor song.
I got sad
Yeah.
and wrote. And it's interesting because like I'm really not much of a lyricist in any way, shape, or form. Anytime I try to write lyrics, it's not great. But I just came up with this whole song and I brought it to them and we were just like, how do we feel about it? But yeah, just being sad and thinking. That's pretty much the song.
Yeah. Do you all go between each other in writing the different songs and such, or is it more of a collaborative thing overall?
It's like a big mishmash.
Yeah, I'd say it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us have like personal songs that we come up with, but we also have personal parts that we come up with that get blended into things.
Gotcha.
So all of our styles are like overlapping.
Yeah, because you also just mentioned that you wrote Before as well, which is
Yeah.
between the two of those.
Yep, they had this song that was like boppy, and I wanted to like make it bop when I was when I was writing my bass part. So I like started like playing the low string, playing the high strings on like the octave, and I came up with like the fills in between because they had like sick guitar parts and Alex had the sick drum part. I wanted to like bring it all together.
Yeah.
We wrote the song like the purest like skeleton form of the song just like out of practice simply because Alex said I want to start a song that goes like ba do ga da da da
Yeah,
and then
I
I
wanted
just
a Cut
started
Time song.
playing something over it and that's kind of like just how that was like the first inception
Gotcha.
of the song.
I gotta ask. I've only asked this because some other artists we've interviewed have said this. Do you guys ever come up with lyrics in your dreams?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have.
You-
yes.
Oh.
Again, I'm
That
not
was
a
a long time
lyricist.
ago.
That is, every time that's so interesting to me. Was it Ashford songs? Any Ashford songs?
No Ashford songs. Two previous bands that I was in, I wrote the ending of the album. Like, there's like a big blurb at the end of the album, and I wrote like the entire thing. I like woke up out of my sleep,
Wow.
and I think I was like struggling to fall asleep, and then I fell asleep and woke back up, and I came up with this in my head, and I had to like write it down because I just knew it was like going to be somewhere placed like in that album that I was on. So
Yeah, that's always so interesting to me to hear about all of that. Yeah. But to go back to Perennial and Before, as you released those two together, was that like very intentional? I also like just hearing the difference between Perennial and Before. I wasn't sure, but even so, they both kind of like in their own way fit. So I was curious.
At first, that wasn't really the intention, and then when we were like gearing up to record, go back in the studio, whose idea was it?
I'm not sure. I know, like, I think the particular sequence was like you and RJ, but like I know like you had the lyrics to Perennial written first, but like before, like I remember writing most of the lyrics to that, and it was like purposefully had like a lot of overlap, like when they like the way they pair it together, and they're like almost like two angles of like similar kind of like thought processes, and they're in like they're not in the same key, but like they're in keys that overlap a lot.
They definitely complement each other.
Yeah, like Perennial's in the key of D, and like Before isn't, but like the D is the chord that the song hangs on the most. So it's like the sequence just like made sense, and like the ideas overlapping.
Before isn't in D?
No.
Before is an A, I believe.
Well, it's in whatever the relative.
Oh
minor
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My music theory knowledge is very slowly coming back.
I don't know.
Fair.
He hits things.
After these releases, Before and Perennial, you guys played with a bunch of cool touring bands, including Riley, which you're wearing the shirt for today.
Record of the year.
Literally.
Mega Mango, who I love, and
Mega Mango.
Born Without Bones. Do you guys have any fun memories from these shows?
Seeing Riley do the capo thing.
The capo thing, yeah.
Yes.
Born Without Bones, hearing them play Exoskeleton live. It was like...
I have a video in our Instagram story archive that I took.
The one place I didn't check.
Tag Born Without Bones, just like, yo, they're sick. And Tom was standing in front of me while they were playing Exoskeleton, and you can just see his head like bobbing up and down. He's so stoked. It's so funny.
Yep.
Great dudes, great album.
Yeah.
Mega Mango, since you name dropped them, that show was at Stamps. It was a Gulf of Mexico show. It was on like a weekday, so it was like one of those shows that like, you know, like you might not like think of it as like this like huge thing, but like Mega Mango themselves were like one of the tightest bands I've ever heard at Stamps. Like they sounded so like clean and professional, and like I listened to their EP before we played with them, because I had heard of them, but like after we played with them and I heard them play some of those songs live, I've been bumping that EP ever since. They sounded so good.
They are so
Yes.
We also played with Glazed. That's another it's another big
That
one.
was a fun show.
That
was with Oscars Cash, who we just interviewed as well.
Oh heck yeah.
That was one of the shows of the Ashford Auto Ignition World Takeover Tour. Two dates a week or two apart at Mohawk Place. It was a big tour.
massive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Very
one of the
good.
sick touring bands we've played with. Auto Ignition.
Oh, yes. Shout out.
You
Shout out
guys
Otto.
mentioned. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
You mentioned earlier that you guys played a bunch of shows with friends, and then you played shows with big touring bands. How does that compare? Like, how do you feel about playing those shows compared to shows that you just play with all your friends?
I treat them the same.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same in my eyes.
Do you get any nervous? Like, no nerves?
I have a tradition.
The only thing Trevor can eat before a show, McDonald's chicken nuggets.
No sauce.
That's
No
what I'm
sauce.
eating after this.
The only
Dry.
thing I can eat the entire day of any show.
He does
10-piece McNugget, no sauce.
Trevor pulls the
What
whole
beverage?
Josh Allen shtick, you
Water.
know, like before the game when his like belly gets upset.
I I love to anxiety puke.
That's true.
I've brushed my teeth in the alleyway of Mohawk Place.
Oh, where we did our
many
little lowdown
times,
interview.
yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Well, I was in the bathroom for
Oh.
the first part. I just brushed my teeth outside.
Right.
Many of venues have had my Josh Allen tradition.
Oh.
I feel like when I'm on stage, it's the only time I'm not anxious. Like, I don't
Really?
know. I don't get nervous before shows. I get really tired before we go on though.
It's
I don't
always
know
like
why.
it's always like 0 to 100 real fast right before you set up. Like while you're setting up and everything, getting ready to play. And then you play and it's fine. Like while you're playing.
Yeah.
Because you just like unless something's going wrong, then it can like kind of throw you off.
Right.
Like if you're in the zone most of the time.
Locked in.
Going right
Locked
through
in,
it.
yeah,
What about you,
just gotta
Al?
lock in.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of pre-show tradition, I mean, yeah, I love playing. It's always fun to play with bigger bands, like especially bands that we love listening to. It's just a really cool experience to be able to play with them, but also playing with bands that we're just homies with. It's just like a fun time to hang out with everyone. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're both kind of approach them in a similar way, but they're both pretty fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, all of this is led up to our announcement that you guys have an album coming out in 2 days from this recording, October 4th. Pictures of Places I've Been. Congratulations on it all. And thank you for giving us the chance to listen to it a little bit early. It's awesome. So go listen to it when it comes out. But what inspired this whole project? You know, you guys have said that you like to sit on certain songs. So how long has this been in the making for?
Been working on the record for probably the past 2 years.
I was gonna say
Purely recording.
The thing that
Oh.
inspired the album was sitting on the songs. We were gonna release
Right.
we were gonna release like 3 songs, and then we just like kept not finishing them, and we just kept writing songs, and we were like, well, we haven't released an LP yet. Let's just do
The
it.
Pro Tools sessions on my hard drive are in a folder labeled EP2 because the
Oh.
initial plan was just like we had 3 songs. We were just gonna like put them out, and then we had 3 more songs, and we were like, okay, 6-song EP. That's what we did with Patterns. Like, sure, and then we just kept
Kept
bringing
adding.
more, kept bringing more.
What was the last song added? If you're okay with saying the title.
The Tower,
Okay.
I believe, was the last one added.
Ooh.
Well, not
That song
quite.
was like a studio song almost.
The last song that was added, you can only hear if you buy the physical release of the album.
Oh, okay.
Little bonus track action. It's
I was recorded at like right next to the airport, like in my old apartment before I
Oh.
moved out. And I don't think you can hear any planes in the recording, but
no.
But that would be
okay.
awesome if
We
you
had
could.
to
hear
pause-
it. You
we
could
had to
hear it in
pause
the
for them.
headphones.
I'm pretty sure, like we were in the studio final drum day, and I was like, "What if we just put that on the album, physical exclusive bonus track?" And Alex was like, "I'm done."
Yeah, I just wanted to finish recording everything.
Yeah. Start fresh after. Yeah. Did you also record all of this or work with RJ on this album as well?
On the new album,
Yeah.
all of the production, tracking, mixing was all me.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome.
I will say though, for most of the record, we tracked it in RJ's former studio in Hamburg,
Okay.
which is where I worked out of until he gutted it and took everything with him.
I was about to say,
all
that
the way across
feels
the
like-
country.
Felt like that could have been a challenge.
And then after that, we just set up shop in mine and Nathan's apartment for a while. We all used digital guitar rigs, so it was super easy to record loud rocking guitars without just cranking a tube amp up to 10.
My neighbors sucked anyway, though, so we could have done it.
Yeah, we could. We tracked all the vocals. Not all of the vocals, but most of the vocals on the album were tracked in Nathan's closet in his
classic,
bedroom.
classic.
I ran a 100-foot snake from my desk in the. It was supposed to be the dining room of the apartment. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was meant to be a dining room.
there was. I don't think there was ever a table.
Because it was
Like,
it was
in
RJ's home studio
It was
before
RJ's
Trevor
old apartment.
moved in.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was like, let's just keep using it as a studio when you move in.
Yeah, And I ran a snake to Nathan's closet with headphones. Went out and bought a pretty nice mic to track the vocals, and did it all in the closet.
In the-
In the closet. We did everything in the closet.
The precious closet.
His closet was sick though. At Norwood.
It was actually like a pretty good setup. Like,
It was
It
sweet.
was spacious. There were clothes in front and behind the vocals. All we had to do was like put a towel on like the slant above it and
Oh, I wish you guys had a picture of it.
deadened everything.
Probably
I'm
do.
sure somewhere. we have a
Unfortunately,
photo.
we wouldn't be able to pull it up quick enough for this, but we could probably find one after. I think I
If-
took a picture.
If we find it and we have it, it's going right here.
If not, sorry.
Whoops. Yeah, but going back to the album, I think my personal favorite from it is Gorilla Glue, which is out already. It's an incredible song. I love it. But I did want to ask, a lot of the songs kind of flip between like this heavier like punk sound, and then some of them have a more mellow sound, such as Bliss, which is another song that isn't out yet. What went into like the sequencing of the album? Because I know you said flow is important for you in an album and everything like that.
Can I take this one?
I wasn't even gonna say anything.
Can I preface it first?
Sure, you go ahead and press.
Nathan was like Charlie Day when he does the
Pepe Sylvia?
Oh,
Pepe
yeah.
Sylvia.
I had like all these like pieces of
drew it
paper.
all
Oh,
Because
really?
we were trying to like think of like a name.
Oh, I
for the
can pull up
record
that
while we were
photo.
sequencing it. So I'm like coming home to like Trevor and I's apartment with all these pieces of paper. I'm like, I was at work and like I drew these like graphs of like.
I wasn't
Oh, so you
I
were
was like
serious.
I like went crazy.
Yeah, and we didn't have the names for the Tower Temperance at that point either. I don't think
Yeah,
it was part
Or
of
Steric Hindrance. I
Yeah.
don't think that. It was
Did you
like-
have
that
any
was a
working
running-
titles?
We did.
Temperance, I called unison riff, even though nothing is really in unison.
It just felt right.
The original idea of the riff in the chorus was like supposed to be like everything playing in unison, but then I think after I brought it to everybody, and they were just like, "What if we like harmonize?" And it's no longer in unison. I'm pretty sure on my quad cortex, the preset that I use when we play it is called unison.
Okay. There you go.
Mine was too, and I just changed the one that says "Things I Can't Control," which was the running title for Steric Hindrance, which we knew we were going to change, but that's just what we called it for the longest time. And the tower was called Tobit for a while.
Okay.
Named after like a obscure Bible character. It was always a character. Yeah. I don't know if like, you know, my boy Tobit. But yeah, the sequencing on the record, some of the things like were like they came very natural. Like we knew Pressure had to be the opening track because it has like this really ambient intro, and the movie The Thing is like awesome. So I just like that last line of the movie, I was like, we gotta put this right at the beginning of the record. And then Steric Hindrance has that like, it's like I think the only song we've ever done with a fade out.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. So like that was like, this would be really good at the end, just this like droning on
Right.
breakdown. Everything in the middle I was like very
That's where the
It was
papers
like a
were out.
formula. It was like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
yeah. And we had like all these like sub themes and like
Yeah.
thematic things like running on like how to group them.
Yeah,
And
there it is.
I think you found the picture.
This was when we were coming up with the track list
All
for
right.
the record. Nathan just drew that and pointed at
A
it.
full graph.
I was
full
like,
graph.
I was
This
trying
is
to,
a-
I was
this
trying to
album.
explain that like it needs to have like a story arc, and like
Yeah.
that peak, the climax is like the Tower to Temperance sequence,
Okay.
and like Steric Hindrance like ends the album. I probably annoyed like the heck out of them. Like I was like really crazy about it. And the Painter and Bliss, like they're in the same tuning. Like I have to tune my guitar differently, so we were like, oh, let's just sequence these. But a
No,
lot
I'm
of-
pretty sure you wrote Bliss with the intention of being sequenced with Painter.
No, I didn't, because I wrote Bliss in like 2021. I didn't bring
You
it to
figured
you
out how to
guys.
play it in the same tuning.
Then I decided.
And then you were just like, it's sequencing.
But yeah, it was a combination of things, but I was kind of crazy about it.
Hey, that's fair. I mean, for people like me who always like to hear the sequencing, it works out really nice.
Oh,
So congratulations.
I want to add one more thing because it's a bit of an advertisement.
One more thing.
One more thing. Shout out Columbo, beginning of Gorilla Glue. But another thing that I was really picky about is like we decided we wanted to do vinyl, which is like super cool. It's really awesome getting to hear our own music on vinyl. But I was very like adamant about making sure like the side flip was like okay, and there was like no sequencing interruptions, and that if there needed to be like kind of an awkward like energy shift, that it would be like after you flip the record. There's a lot of like old albums that you can like really tell where the side flip is supposed to be. I think like on Sgt. Pepper's, it's like within you and without you until when I'm 64. Like I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but it's just like it sounds so stupid if you're not listening to it on vinyl because there's no gap. So I wanted to make sure that happened smoothly too, which had a big effect on how like we decided to order it.
Yeah.
Which means everyone needs to go out and buy the vinyl.
Yes.
As soon as it comes
Buy
out.
vinyl, please.
As soon as it comes out.
We're going to have it at the show, and it'll be at a bunch of record stores in Buffalo near you. So,
That is so cool. You can walk into a record shop
and
and
get
you
our
see your
album.
own vinyl.
I know. I'm like going
After
crazy.
I bring it there.
Yep.
And I'm like, please sell it.
I wanted to talk about the album art for your album.
Shout out Aaron
Yeah.
Gordon.
He's in this
Yeah,
picture.
shout out.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Wait, really?
Yeah, right there.
He's
No,
in the.
all the way to.
He's somewhere in there.
He's gotta be in there.
He was in that band, so
He was.
absolutely.
So he's somewhere
That makes
in there.
sense.
I think that's him.
Is that not him at the end?
Let me see. Let me see.
All the way at the end. Oh,
I forgot.
never mind.
No, that's Matt Fedchuk.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt Fedchuk.
Yeah.
He should have been in it, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Why wasn't he in it?
Aaron's not in
no.
this.
Wait. Yeah, never mind.
Wait.
Yeah, no, I don't see him.
He's not.
Well,
I see-
shout out Aaron.
Yeah,
Who's
shout out
Shout
Aaron
out
this kid in the
anyways.
middle?
I was
I
gonna
thought that
ask
was
you
him.
guys
Who's
that.
that?
I thought that was Jonah.
I
No.
The little blonde one?
Yeah. Who's that?
little
That looks like a child.
a little bit. Yeah, I can recognize nearly everyone else in this
Even
picture,
Mel's
but I have
in
no
there.
idea.
That one person in the
Yeah.
center of the photo.
Oh my god,
Whoever
yeah.
it is, reveal yourself.
This is Tom's contact photo in my phone, by the way.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
That's perfect.
I'll tell you later.
What are we talking about? Aaron
Album
Gordon, album art.
Yep.
Aaron rocks.
Does the cover art relate at all to the song?
Yeah, so, originally, I came up with this idea.
Talk to the mic.
I came up with this idea that, like, it'd be cool if all of us had a camera with film in it, and we walked around and we took pictures, like because Alex is living in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
so we get
Yes.
Alex's Pittsburgh pictures. We get like Nathan went and took a bunch of like buildings. Buildings were like
Yeah.
like I wanted things that were like focal that you could like. My original idea was like, I won't get into it, but
Tom was really at the center of like the direction, and then
Gotcha.
yeah.
gave
Aaron-
the spiel to
yeah.
Aaron, and Aaron
We had-
definitely like
how
put his
many-
own spin.
How many pictures were there that he like picked through?
Oh man, I sent him.
150 or something.
Wow.
I sent him more than that.
It's like 400 or something.
What?
I sent him somewhere between like 2 and 3 probably.
Thank you, Aaron.
was
I'm
up
sorry.
Yeah, he picked some good ones too.
He picked like maybe like 70 to
Wow.
like actually print and use, but we gave him a lot of photos to work with.
And it was just all pictures that we
Of
had
places
or
we've been.
That's what I was
I was just alluding to that. I'm trying to say.
The audience has to get it themselves.
Yes.
This is where the credits roll.
I never said that.
How many drafts did it go through? Like, was it just like
It's like 2,
he showed you one?
3.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
We commissioned it a little bit, like, really close to when we needed to send it to the vinyl people.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
Luckily, Aaron's like, he's amazing, and we were originally just gonna
yeah.
go with like a more kind of hodgepodge collage, just the pictures everywhere.
Hodgepodge collage.
That's LP too. And he just like made like a few smaller collages more in his style, which ended up being the single covers.
Yes.
And we were like, no, we're doing this. This is awesome. And like he's just amazing. So we didn't need to go through that many drafts because he just did like a really good job.
There
We
are
did
also
use-
extra collages that he did that are going to be included on the CD.
Oh,
So if
And
you
we
get
did
the
use
CD,
the original hodgepodge collage as like the background for the lyric sheet in the vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
found a
you
place to
mentioned
put
that
everything
earlier.
in.
Yeah.
You made your own font for the
Yeah.
lyric sheet.
I made my handwriting a font and then typed out all the lyrics and then printed them out, ripped up the sheets of paper, re-scanned them back into Photoshop and placed them, and it was
Wow.
And then he asked me to make sure the lyrics were right and proofread it.
Printer in the middle of the living room.
Oh yeah, and Nathan came
The
home from
graph
work,
on
and I
the
was
wall.
just like, I'm ripping up sheets of paper with my handwriting that I didn't write.
And I was like, you thought I was crazy for the graphs.
Your guys' house must look like a laboratory. Just walk in there. Everything's all about.
But the closet is still precious.
Yes. Yes. We mentioned the release show earlier, but you guys are playing with Robbery Club, The Weather Might Say Otherwise, and Previous Love on October 11th. How excited are you guys for this show?
I'm stoked. Probably gonna have to do another Josh Allen ritual.
Oh, I'm so
day.
glad I know that now.
Oh, yeah.
You only get to release an LP once, so
Right.
Unless you
It'll be-
release
Well,
more
once
LPs.
per LP.
Yeah.
Well, you get deluxe
I got the
editions.
point.
You're right.
Should
You
we
can-
do
you
a
can
deluxe
expand on
edition
it.
of this?
And then
about-
do
yeah.
another
Of this
release
album?
That's how
show.
we scam
Yeah, like
people
we have
into
more
getting
songs
the bonus
written.
track later.
Yeah.
what
Oh,
songs
yeah.
you got? I don't got none.
Maybe I'll write one. Nathan has a million.
I have like 10 because we've been spending so long writing this one.
I keep telling
You
him to
just dissed
stop
yourself.
Just all a Nathan album.
because it's all Nathan.
In the vault.
That's just gonna be your solo album.
They got to
now.
keep up. Alex has like 2 songs too.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He does.
I got some stuff.
Can't wait to see the whiteboard sequencing for that one.
He plays drums on the guitar. Alex wrote Stair Hindrance.
Okay.
Final
Well,
song
he
of the-
he wrote
Oh.
the very basis and like idea of it.
I mean, you,
I don't know. He wrote most of the
Yeah,
guitar.
he
and
wrote
lyrics.
Well, yeah,
Wait.
yeah, you're right.
We didn't talk about
We
that
just
one enough.
followed
It's a great song too. I thought that was a great way to end the album too.
it's a fun one.
I think that's the most Ashford song on the album to me.
I
For
can't
that
remember.
one-
It's very
Interesting.
Ashford.
It's like a very definitive.
That one is kind of funny because the guitar tuning is like a little bit weird. I had my guitar in drop D, and I was just like, what if it was C instead? So it's just all the strings are in standard except the low E is a C. It's just like
Shout out to
It's really
Relentless
goofy.
Moisture. I think they play a song in that tuning.
Oh,
too.
I'm pretty sure John Mayer
John
does.
Mayer,
Wow.
I don't actually know how to
Ashford,
play guitar,
Relentless
so I just
Moisture,
do.
John Mayer.
World tour.
Yeah. Please,
all
please.
related by a guitar to me.
Yeah.
That'll go crazy.
I think one of my favorites on the album was Bliss. How did you go? I love the ending of it. I love how stripped it is. How did you write that song, come up with that?
So, Trevor kind of alluded to it earlier, and it's like a little bit of a sore topic, but I wrote that song coming out of like the very beginning of the pandemic. Obviously, it's still going on, but the restrictions when they started to loosen, I think not a lot of people talked about how much it like affected their psyche, like not being able to see like sick family members, being isolated and stuff, and a lot of people were like left with agoraphobia and like kind of this like isolated feeling that like some people aren't used to, and like I kind of dealt with that a lot because I'm like I'm generally like a very like extroverted person, and I had like a lot of trouble like getting back into the swing of things, and I wrote that song to be like kind of about being in that isolated feeling, but not having the courage to like step out and escape it, and like finding ways to be content in it, which is like that's not good. It's not supposed to be good, but that's like where that idea came from. The stripped back idea at the end is just kind of the bridge was a pretty nebulous idea until I brought it to the rest of the band, and coming out of it, I just wanted to keep the roots of the song because I like just wrote it on my acoustic, and that was like kind of like a callback to like how I like actually wrote it because I write on my acoustic a lot more than my electric.
Yeah.
When we recorded that outro, it was like not in time to a click anything. I just put up a mic in the control room of the studio, plugged a guitar into RJ's Marshall, I think JCM 2000 amp,
Wow.
and 410 cab 412 maybe, and just essentially just did all of the mixing just like in the room, where like just Nathan was singing and just playing the guitar. The amp was rather farther away, but I kept the door open to the ISO room, so there was definitely sound coming out. Actually, that's a lie. I recorded with 2 mics, just for like extra flair.
Was one of them the talkback
You used
mic?
the one
Yeah,
downstairs?
the second one was the talkback mic at the desk. It's on a boom arm, and I just like lifted it up, pointed it at him, and I was just like, oh, why not? Let's throw that in there.
That is so cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did just want to swing it back to the release show really quick because I thought this was also really cool. But The Weather Might Say Otherwise played both your EP release and is also playing your LP release. Was that on purpose, or was it just like a fun little
I think it
coincidence?
ended up being,
I think we thought of it when we were thinking of like the bands to ask to be on the show, but I don't think it was really intentional. Like they were on the EP release, they have to be on the LP release. Like-
also finding bands that are like available when you want them to be available.
Yeah.
Is definitely really hard. So,
Yeah.
especially being another band and having like other shows that you got to do and stuff. So
Right.
Oh, but we love those guys. Like they're
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Fredonia legends.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we talked a lot about the releases and the show and everything, but let's start listening to some of the music. So we'll start the set list. Take it away.
let's just do it.
Tearing myself apart, seeking answers I'll never find. Wasting all of my time, yearning for what is behind. It's happening again. I'm breaking down. I'm breaking. I'm losing myself. I'm breaking down. I'm breaking. I'm struggling to get past these thoughts. Misery and sorrow, everything lost. I can't just forget this all. For once I was happy, now it's gone. It's happening again. I'm breaking down. I'm breaking. I'm losing myself. I'm breaking down. I'm breaking.
This one is the first single we dropped off of our new record. It's called The Painter and the Patient. This next one's called Gorilla Glue.
Head spins, my face is strange, pale and thin, need to stay away. 'Cause when I lie down, my mind it sinks to the bottom of the earth below. But when I stand up, my body shakes like it'll shatter with the smallest blow. Take a breath, look in the mirror, and whisper it's only me. Turning around, hoping my mind is clearer, till my vision fades to green. Driven for moving on to my body can't do much more. Gotta walk out the door, but I'm chill to death. I need to find my phone. Why is it so loud? I just need to breathe. I'm so numb. My stomach is had enough. Control myself as I get a drink. I say I don't need help, but I'm suffering. Now there are a million eyes staring me into nothingness. Now I can't breathe or free my mind because the air feels like it's made of ash. How come whispers say to me I should probably get home? In a state of mind, there's no way to be that's worse than to be alone. Can't move at all. My body can't do much more. Gotta walk
The song's called Leaving the Party Early.
Wish I was a bird so I could take flight, get high anytime I'd like to think my life away. I'm anticipating something, anxiously waiting for a bell to ring. What if I told you were dreaming? I've been thinking a lot about death lately. I lose the time and the place, can't remember my name. Reading no that it gets tough. It's too much, I'm trying, I can't handle it. If I slip and I fall, will I stumble 6 feet in the ground? Take a sip or drink it all. Lose track of time to get away from the crowd. Do these questions need answers, or are we here just as a reason for banter? I've been thinking a lot about death lately. I lose the time and the place, can't remember my name. Breathing, no doubt it gets tough. It's too much, I'm trying, I can't handle it. Thinking a lot about life lately. When I get messed up, I just don't understand where it's taking me. I just need a moment to breathe. Is it right here? Is it right now? Will it end well? 'Cause I've seen this all before. I feel alone. Where did everybody go? Though we claim we're still so close, we couldn't be farther from home. Is there a reason for this pain? Can we try again for closure? Is it just fear that things have changed? Or is it really over? Tired of dreaming about turning back time. I'm sick of leaving. There's no returning to what was before. Now I'm left here yearning for
thank you guys for such an awesome set. Sounded fantastic, as always.
Thank you.
Some of the best. But now back to the questions. So you guys have had merch throughout the years. I feel like I've seen your guys' t-shirt all around the music scene. But with this new release coming out, you've already mentioned vinyls and CDs and such, but do you just have any other merch overall that you'd like to share?
It's on order.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll be there. It'll be at the show, and
it's coming. Shout out Mike Hansen, Hotel Etiquette. You rock.
Oh, awesome.
He's printing our stuff at Everyday Ink, where he works downtown Buffalo.
we're getting some shirts.
Couple of shirts.
Shirts,
fall
inspired
hoodies.
by the album and Aaron's
hoodie.
collages.
Oh, awesome.
Hoodies.
A hoodie?
Hoodie
We're
inspired by
doing
a Gorilla
the
Glue
That's
hoodie.
it.
emo band
That's it.
staple green hoodie. We're ripping off.
And
P.
yet I don't
Daddy.
have one.
We're ripping off. Aren't we amphibians? We're doing it. Green
We're the
hoodie.
newest green hoodie band.
Absolutely. Is it the perfect dark green?
I think it
don't
might be.
It's
know.
up to them. I left it up to them.
I think it might be a little bit lighter because of the text we went
the
with.
Okay.
print
The
and
design-
the colors and design.
The guy who designed it was me. So
I thought you were just gonna like start talking and not mention
I
it.
thought you were talking in the third person.
there's some dark text on it, so it's a little bit.
Okay. Okay. From the only person wearing green tonight.
Hey.
It's not that color.
Yeah.
This is going to be, if we ever shoot a music video for Gorilla Glue, I would love to have this in the music video. This is the shirt I chose, and I'm going to be smoking the whole entire video and singing with it, but it just never happened. It was supposed to be at my apartment, and we were supposed to do it, but
Maybe
it was like a
someday.
room this sized. Like I just could jam a
Yeah,
bunch of
just
people
jam
in.
like, I don't know. I feel like 10 people would make it look packed.
Camera over.
yeah, a bunch of different shots, but
Especially
we'll talk
with
about
a
it.
full kit
Yeah.
and playing and
On
everything.
the table.
Oh.
Oh,
stop
you're
tapping.
fine. You're fine.
We
Always
also
get
have-
caught by the
Don't
house
talk
rules.
about the
haven't
tables.
Don't ask about the table.
We also have stickers, new ones.
Okay.
We got a like album.
Oh yeah, Glep.
Gleb, smiling
Yeah,
friends.
we got a Gleb
I love
sticker.
Smiling Friends so much. You haven't
You could-
watched it
I
yet.
know.
You can also cut that out if that's not like okay for us to have that on air. or anything.
Branded,
Yeah, branding or anything.
Oh, you're fine.
a little green guy with a purple hat from a very popular animated
That's
series.
definitely not Glep.
No.
But there's
That's
like
blep.
we got like a
Blep.
album themed sticker and a temperance themed sticker too.
Okay.
Hopefully, so we're those are in the works. as
Those
well.
stickers depend on you.
No, they depend on him.
Why can't
Call
Alex
it
do
out.
it?
I see the.
You just gotta send an email, bro.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting. I saw Japanese House last night, so I was like.
Oh, I was gonna ask if that's what you saw.
Yeah, I saw Japanese House last night. It sounded
Yeah.
fake. It sounded very, very
Oh.
fake. Everything sounded fake, but it sounded amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't.
I thought you were just like dogging on.
No, no,
I was
it-
like, this video is turning into
They're-
a Japanese house hate video.
no. They were awesome. The singer looks like a female version of Tom Petty. I never thought that, but
I
the
never
middle
thought of
part-
that either,
The middle
but
part and everything is. I was like, I thought I was watching a female version of Tom Petty. It was crazy, but
I
with a
don't-
more angelic voice.
I don't even know the band.
The
More
Japanese House is
angelic
on.
voice. Of course, it's more angelic.
Yeah, we're talking about Tom Petty.
Yeah.
It's they were on the 1975's label.
So that's the merch we have
yes,
coming
yes, yes. And we're so excited to see it
Yes,
No, I'm excited for hoodies.
at this
Merch.
release show that is again October 11th.
You can get tickets online.
But what day is it released? The album.
The album comes out October 4th,
don't
There we
which
go.
is a couple days after you'll be hearing this.
Yes.
Yes.
And you'll have multiple days after that to get tickets for a release show, either online on After Dark's website, or you can hit us up directly if you want to skip the online fees. Otherwise, it'll be $20 the day of the show, and you don't want to be paying $20. Get them for $15 early.
I know I'll be getting my tickets early, but let's turn it on over across the way to our technical director, Dylan.
Hey, I have a quick question for you guys. Oh,
Shoot it.
appreciate it. You guys recently played at BJ's this past August with Del Paxton and Hit Girl. How did it feel to be back on the Fredonia campus now with all of these releases and another on the way?
It always feels the same. It always feels when you come back and you play.
I mean, stoked about new songs. I'm pretty sure we dropped. What song did we put out like a day or two before that?
Gorilla Glow.
Gorilla
Had just
Glue.
come out.
Yes.
Felt good to be back in Fredonia for sure. Love playing here.
It's definitely
Familiar.
It's definitely different because like the people that we came up with who no longer go to school here, like they're gone. So like we come back and it's just like BJ's is full of kids that I've never even seen before.
Yeah, that must
But,
be so
like,
weird.
But like somehow they're still like
Showing
singing some
Yeah.
of the songs, showing out, having a good time, and staying for all the bands, which is huge.
Yeah.
I've always loved that about Fredonia. Everybody really supports every band on a show.
Don't feel old quite yet, but worried it's coming up. one day there's gonna be no one that we recognize, and it's like, oh boy, I'm
Speak
old.
for yourselves.
Yeah, well, you know, I still got a few years left.
Tom's the old man of the band.
No, I'm the oldest guy in this band, and I'm the youngest guy in my other band.
Oh,
Good
Some balance.
must feel
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it's cool.
We were stoked to be back with new stuff.
Love to hear.
I almost said a word I can't say.
You caught it. It's okay. Do you
New-
guys?
New stuff. Yeah, sorry. Just another side note. It's just like always good to play new things, not just for other people, but for ourselves, just to get out of playing all the same things we play all the time.
Yeah, it must be refreshing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you guys have any other upcoming shows? We already talked about merch, or anything else you guys would like to add?
We have
November 10th.
a show in November with Five Ever and Sunday morning? Question mark.
I know Dirty Dishes is on it.
Dirty
I don't know
Dishes.
the exact lineup off the top of my head. Sorry to our other bands playing on that, but yeah, we had
November 10th.
We gotta like change our name or something. I feel left out of all these band names.
No, Ashford's cool.
All right.
What? What are you talking about?
Second rebrand.
We're gonna
more-
drop the album and just completely
Change it
ditch
again.
No more ashy lineups.
Anything else to add? Shout out our homie Bird, who. How long ago was
It was in the spring.
in the spring? Suffered a very traumatic and life-altering injury at a show in Buffalo. I'm sure you can find Bird's GoFundMe somewhere on the internet, but it's a very good cause to consider throwing some money at. Support the homie who supports homies.
Absolutely. Yes. Go support and shout out Bird.
Fred alum.
Yes.
True.
Well, that concludes another episode of the Local Lowdown. Thank you guys so much for coming on. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Rock
thanks
and
for
roll.
stopping by.
Peace. Rock and roll.
Yes. Well, thank you for listening to the Local Lowdown on WCVF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno. We will catch you next week, same time.
Same place.
Bye.
What's your problem disappear? I still need a new life. Came here to escape, but the past keeps catching up.